Welcome home. We are WNST. Taos, Baltimore. We are AM 1570. If you're driving around, we hope you set a spot on your dial for us. We are participating today in the Maryland Crab Cake Tour and the Maryland Oyster Tour, intersecting on behalf of our friends at Curio Wellness and Foreign Daughter, as well as Liberty Pure Solutions, powering up my water at 1-800-CLEAN-WATER. And then the lottery gives me these tickets to give away. I have the Ravens scratch-offs here, for better or worse, with the Ravens this week. It is a baseball week around here. Also, our friends at Jiffy Lube, Multicare, and Royal Farms, powering up Luke, getting him back and forth from Camden Yards to Camden Yards, and maybe only to Camden Yards. We might not even cover the Ravens at all this week because practices might be mixing in with the games. And we might be in New York next week. I don't know where we're going to be. But Leonard Raskin is here with me, and we are at Costas Inn, my home away from home. I pimped out in the first segment about the fried shrimp.
Yes,
Thumbs
sir.
up. You got Acme
Excellent.
Oyster House. You're on
Excellent.
that.
Good stuff.
Leonard helps people with their money. He is Raskin Global. He empowers people to choose their financial future. He also has empowered me in recent years as one of his clients to come to his crab feast up in northern Baltimore County. We get together, and you get your crabs, and we do it all up. And then you give out sort of party favors like they did at the Oyster Recovery Partnership the other night. And part of that is this crazy crab mallet. You can see it is unstained. Right?
That's a new one.
This is fresh.
It's a fresh one.
Yep. So I haven't opened a beer with it either. So it does open beers. So to commemorate our friendship relationship and to say playoffs.
Here we go.
I'm going to have a David Rubenstein, and I'm still locked out as an Aparicio beer. And apparently, does this really work? Does this work?
You're going to find out right now.
Does it work?
You're going to find out.
You've done it?
I've done it. You're going to find out.
Hold on. Let me make sure, because these are Phillips head screws in here. Made in USA patent number
There you go.
D706090.
That's right.
A patented item. And let's see if it opens a
USA.
Natty Bow.
Oh, look at that. Beautiful.
You remember I used to have the beer opener?
Yes, absolutely.
You've been listening that long,
You hear
right?
for sure.
So, oh boy, what a beer.
There
Natty Bow's never given me a nickel sponsor. They write me about doing free stuff. Dude, there you go. There's your free plug for Natty.
That's right. The sign's lit up. Natty Bow sign is lit up again.
I have great stories. One day when we're really bored, it's not the playoffs,
right,
and I don't have this Capital Center thing I'm about to do with you, the shtick I'm about to do. We're going to do a thing about me going to Coors Field. And I can talk about this because Bobby Pinkner and Bobby Footlicker have both left us. And Leslie and Randy know I love them, and I think they've sold the distributorship over at Bond. That I was Budweiser sponsored. Thank you, John Dow, George Acton, Kim Acton. You know I love you all. And Joe, I love you too, Joe Moneymaker. That I was Bud sponsor because the Bud distributorship was at the foot of my neighborhood.
Right, got it.
Right, so I was Bud sponsor, Bud Light. I had long hair. Bud Light was my bow tie, the whole deal. And Natty Bow was only because of Scunny. So I'm holding this up because Scunny's son shucked an oyster for me at Mama's on the Half Shell. And the next time I'm doing my next crab cake tour in November, once we get through the World Series, is we're going to win here. When the parade's over.
With the parade's over.
With me, you, and Mr. Rubenstein.
That's
we're going to do the show out there. So this is for Scunny, whose son I shared some delicious oyster stew with at the Oyster Recovery Partnership. This is for you in giving me, and for Costas and Karen here, for giving me a beer I could open that happens to be a Natty Bow, who's never sponsored this show in 33 years. But in 1990... Was it 8, the All-Star game? Yes, it was 98. The All-Star game was in Coors Field.
Okay.
And I had just gotten WNST. It was a summer. We weren't even on the air as NST. We were in between almost being NST. It was 2 weeks before NST started. So it's middle of July of 98. And I spent 3 days on the field on my phone. It wasn't a cell phone.
No.
It was a flip phone that had a bass,
right?
A 900 megahertz bass that talked. It was a
big phone.
It was a cordless phone, is what it was. It had a landline,
big
right?
Phone.
That we called back on. Maybe we had Cell One then. Maybe we had the brick phones. We did have a brick phone.
I did.
I had the picture of the phone. So I spent 3 days on the field there on my radio station, calling it Pissy Water Field.
That's
so
terrible.
When I came back, Steve Hennessy had a meeting with Mr. Footlick and Mr. who I adored. I adore their daughters, all of that. But I sat in their office and it always smelled like cigars because they smoke cigars. And I came in and
That's great.
I'm going to do a great Bob Footlick because I just loved him. I want to my imitating him. Son, can't have you on the air calling it Pissy Water Field. Oh, I loved you guys. Thank you, and I hope, Matt Crow, you get a laugh out of that. So you asked me last time I had a taste of Natty Bo.
Right.
All of the pictures of my mother in my childhood, the little ones where you had the big square and the little ones.
Yeah, sure.
You know, and the instant, not instant,
Polaroid.
but the Polaroids. No, Polaroid were the Instamatics, right? These are Kodak. These were like, we sent them off to two guys and had to get them developed and pick them up. All of my pictures from 72, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all have my mom drinking a little Fat Boys. Little fat Natty Bo. So
there you go.
I want to say it tastes like every beer I drank before I was 21. That's all I'm going to say. It tastes like every beer I drank, which is a good memory.
Hey,
until you had the third or fourth one.
That's right. It's all good. It's all good.
Oh, Natty Bo. Oh, boy, what a beer. Sponsor the show. So, anyway.
There we go.
I want to tell you about this this piece here because if Leonard and I were together, there's been a guy I've been trying to invite on for months, and he's coming over. He's driving from D.C. I already apologize. I'm driving up here. He's like, anything to promote the book. You know how that is. You're an author.
That's right.
So this guy's coming by, and I'm looking forward to it, but I want to ask you what the Capitol Center means to you. I whipped this out. This is my press pass that I had on my body 39 years ago when the greatest hockey player that anyone ever saw, right? Like literally.
Yes.
I was at his locker, just me and him. A couple of Edmonton guys were, but like then Jeff Rimmer knew him, back in the day, whatever. The retired Jeff Rimmer. This stupid little piece of paper means the friggin' world to me. And if you screwed with the thread that's on it, I would smack you.
No,
and I'm telling you, if you reach to touch it, I'm going to bow you out. You know what I mean?
I'm hands
and
off.
I'm territorial
I'm hands off.
like you wouldn't believe.
I get it.
But what you're going to see in this box, and I've compared it to Pulp Fiction. What's in this box?
Gold is Nestor's soul.
Okay.
There it is. There it is.
All right. So what is the Capitol? When's the first time you went to the Capitol Center? The first ever thing you did. I got to look at my box. I'm gonna peer in here.
The first time I can remember going to the Cap Center had to be. All right, you ready?
I got.
All right, here we go.
Go ahead.
Here we go.
Oh, this is good.
It was.
Go ahead.
I'm trying to think of who the first. It was a 3-act show. It was
3 bands.
3 bands.
Okay, what years? Give me a year.
We're talking 70s, 80s.
Okay,
late 70s,
so it wasn't
80s.
Def Leppard, Crocus?
No. Okay,
before that.
Let's go this way.
You're older than me.
I'll be 60.
Oh, you're older than
in a
me.
week.
So you got a couple of. Okay, go ahead. So,
okay, but here's who I'll tell you the headliner. It's easy.
Okay, so it was a concert.
It was a concert.
Okay,
it was a concert.
Mine was not a concert.
General admission.
Okay.
I was on the floor.
Okay.
Ted Nugent with hair. With the long hair going, with the cowboy hat, Ted. It was crazy.
Okay.
Molly Hatchet and
UFO?
38 Special.
38 Special. So 38 Special opened, right?
Molly Hatchet.
Then Molly Hatchet.
Ted.
Man, Flirting with Disaster.
That was a show.
Stranglehold, right?
Absolutely. Cat Scratch Fever.
I spent time with Ted Nugent, real time with Ted Nugent. You know what I mean? Like backstage at Hammerjacks, like the whole.
Well, how about now? You could go out to
Ted.
the farm and shoot fully automatic.
I got full on Ted. I'm done with Ted. Ted and I wouldn't have much to talk about.
Ted's quite the conservative out there. But he's out there. He's
Dude, you're one of the most conservative.
You know what? Ted,
you're one of the last conservative guys I talked to on the edge of right. I think even you would have a hard time hanging out with Ted.
I'd hang with Ted.
You would? You'd hang
Ted
with
is a bow hunter,
I know
too.
all about that. He shoots them on stage.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
He's amazing. But anyway.
So you saw Nugent was the headliner.
I saw Ted.
That's probably 79 then, right?
It was late 70s, yeah.
Yeah, it was probably 79.
Yeah.
Okay.
I saw Ted. I saw Judas Priest a number of times.
All right.
I've seen The Who. I've seen Foreigner. I've seen Aerosmith. I had to beg my aunt because we were too poor. We didn't have a car. We were poor. But my aunt had a car, and I drove her car, and I had to beg her. I took 4 friends. Think about this, right?
How old are you, 19, 17?
No. 17.
Okay, all right.
So had to beg her to drive to the Cap Center at midnight, 1 in the morning, whatever, to get in line
to
for
camp out.
Stones tickets.
Oh, in 81.
Camping out.
Oh,
because,
yeah.
Yeah, because, you can only go to the Cap Center or the Heck Company and wait in line. And we had people at every entrance because they sold the tickets at all the entrances.
You probably had Record Theater your side of town.
Absolutely.
There you go. So,
Liberty Road, man.
So I camped out. All my campouts were not at Golden Ring because it was too crowded. We went to Reisterstown Road Plaza.
Right. Yeah.
So all of my friends of the Jewish faith were all made in a parking lot.
Yes.
Because I'm from East Baltimore.
The Heck Company, baby.
This is 81, 82,
absolutely.
83.
I graduated high school in 82.
I camped out for the Who on the Eminence front at the Reisterstown Road Plaza.
Yes.
And I put a picture up of me hugging my friend Ron West, who's been on the show at Drug City. Last week, his band played at Cultivated. Ron was my camp out buddy.
Let me tell you
now, I don't know what our parents were thinking, letting us go over to Reisterstown Road Plaza and camp out for
next
tickets, but
time
we did,
we're on, I'm going to have to remember
for
this.
Journey,
I have to pull
REO
this out.
Speedwagon,
there you go.
Styx
was my first concert ever at the Cap Center, at the Civic Center.
Okay.
I almost got in a fight. Almost got beat up. I was 15 years old. I was there with my girlfriend. Intermission. I don't remember who opened. Intermission, we went out to get a Coke, and we came back, and there was these big guys. They were in my seats. I was like, dude. I was like, excuse me, that's my seat. He pulls out his ticket, and I was in the wrong section.
Oh, you almost got beaten up in his seat. So that's worse enough.
I was 15. I was a little nothing. I would have been
so I got something
Anyway,
here.
listen to me. Yep. Last thing. Next time we're on, I will have, on the air, the farewell concert tour.
For the Who.
For the Who.
Yeah, of course.
Booklet.
81.
For the Who. Farewell tour. And I saw them last year in D.C.
I was at the Eminence front show when they shot the video. I was at that
Capital
night.
One Arena.
Daltrey. Well, the farewell show was in Montreal.
Well,
at the
I'm
end
just
of
saying
that
the
tour,
farewell tour,
and it was on MTV. It was the last ever Who show.
Last show in D.C.
1982.
I was there,
September 82.
And I have the booklet. And last year, I saw him at the Capital One Arena.
My first ever
43 years later
event at the Capitol Center was a wrestling match.
Oh, my goodness.
All right?
Okay.
So, and this is sort of weirdly monumental in the wrestling space, not knowing what you know about wrestling.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan
wrestled
as a bad guy.
Okay.
Against Bob Backlund when he came in from the AWA with Nick Bockwinkel and Vern Gagne. And this was one of the first jobs he ever did for Vince McMahon. Like, if I ever sat with Hulk Hogan, he were normal and not whatever.
Right, the persona.
Whatever. I mean, even you talk about he's right of Ted Nugent on certain days, too. A little out of his mind, him and Teal and all that stuff. But it was so weird because we used to watch Channel 45 and then Channel 20.
Yep.
And I've had Gary Michael Capetta on talking about all those days. He was the announcer and all that. But the Channel 20, they were like, Vince was doing the stand-up thing he did 20 minutes after with Ivan Putski and Chief Jay Strongbow. And Hogan was wrestling Bob Backlund. And I'm like, we got to go see Hulk Hogan. This is before Thunder Lips, before Rocky II. Right? It was before any of that, right? And he was a bad guy. With Thunder Lips, he was a bad guy, right? As Thunder Lips, right? He was a heel, right? So we went down, and I looked this up. You can look it up. It's real. March the 8th, 1980.
Tickets.
Look at how beautiful that ticket is.
That is Capitol Center.
Right here. March the 8th, 1980.
Was it $6? What's the price?
$5.
$5.
And this was the adult ticket. $5 for the wrestling matches.
I said $6.
So these are the first
What does it cost today?
Don't touch his ticket.
By the
way, I could have given this ticket up for a free 12-ounce Coke at Roy Rogers.
Here's my question for you.
Taste the best of fresh.
This is 1980.
It was only good for 30 days, though.
This was 1980.
80. March of 80.
Okay. How old were you?
11.
All right, here's what I want to know, because I've never asked you this, and I absolutely want to know this.
11.
What in God's green earth possessed you to keep all this stuff? Because you have tickets from everything you've ever done, just about.
It's funny you'd ask that.
You may have all of them. I don't know. But,
okay, so
but
I
always see you coming up with stuff, and I'm thinking.
In this box resides.
What in the world?
This would be interesting for Katie Griggs, who's banning me from attending games this week as a media credentialed person. And certainly for Chad Steele or for Dick Cass or Sashi Brown, who banned me from an event that you tried to buy me tickets because I was a former media member, right? I could wallpaper the walls of Costas the way that Mr. Costas has all the beautiful horses.
Absolutely.
He has all the horse racing in
Absolutely.
here. That if you go to the bathroom back here,
Yep.
Romeo and Juliet, one of his big horses that won a lot of races. This box here is one small little piece of 8 tubs
I get it.
of press credentials, mementos,
Yeah.
and all of it is small. I don't have a lot of
get it.
programs.
No, I get it.
I got rid of all my baseball cards a million years ago. So
Yeah.
I have my Aparicio collection that
Sure,
you've seen,
sure.
right? And I still add to that. I buy the belt buckles.
Yeah.
Today, by the way, you're gonna like today. All right, you're gonna like today. You got any Blue Oyster Cult?
Yeah. Where were you when I had Blue Oyster Cult?
So this
and couldn't sell
is
them?
my Blue Oyster Cult, and I want it. We're on the Oyster Tour, so I have to have the Blue Oyster Cult.
Oyster Cult.
But I love that I get accused of being in the cult of non-media members. So we're in a cult together.
Blue Oyster Cult.
I like these because they're beautiful, and I get to wear them. Obviously, they're fun.
Yeah.
You can't wear press passes
No.
or ticket stubs,
Right.
or I guess you could wear the tour shirts if they still fit.
Right.
All these years later, and I did find the picture of me wearing the Styx Paradise Theater tour shirt. So I'm gonna put that up in my kitchen when I was 12. So this box
you still
here,
haven't answered
this
me.
is a special box. All right, this is a different kind of box.
Go ahead.
And the only reason I brought the whole box, I went through about 3 of my boxes yesterday when Kevin Leonard from this Capitol Center book.
Yep.
He's coming over. We're going to talk about the Capitol Center, and this is sort of a prequel to that because I know how much you love the Caps.
Absolutely.
How many Caps games do you see at the Capitol Center? Hundreds and hundreds.
Hundreds.
Right?
Hundreds.
Hundreds
Yeah,
and hundreds.
There were 40 games
And
a
yet
season.
you're talking about Ted Nugent and Judas Priest, but like,
I didn't go to Caps games till they weren't there.
did you
were
ever
just
see
there.
Kareem play or Michael Jordan? Did you go to
I saw
any?
Jordan play.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
never saw Kareem
Dr.
play
J?
in person. No.
Larry Bird?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Magic and
So
Bird.
you went to
and-
basketball
yeah.
games, right?
I only went to basketball games to see the
other
stars.
team, right.
See the stars.
That's what everybody did.
I never went, but hockey. I was a Caps fan as soon as they came, and the first expense, the first investment
You tell
I
me
ever
this
made
all the time.
was Cap season
When you
tickets.
had money, I bought a big screen TV
Yeah.
when I first
Cap
got a little
season
bit of money.
tickets was it.
1991, I
1987.
bought a big screen TV to watch the Super Bowl.
There you go.
To watch the Leon Lett Super Bowl at my house.
What's the ball?
There you go.
Don't touch it.
So I went through a couple of tubs of my press passes
Yeah.
and tickets. Right?
Yeah.
So I have bags of hockey stuff.
Yep.
So my hockey bag has press passes, tickets, some invitations to
Sure.
this. I've been to the Stanley Cup Finals. I've been to the NHL All-Star Game.
Yeah.
I have invitations to I have the invitation from the night I met Kenny Albert, which is special to me.
Yeah, cool.
Right? It was an invitation in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We met that night. We were the same age.
guy.
We looked kind of the same,
Yeah, right.
you know what I mean? But he was Marv Albert's kid.
Absolutely.
And he was about to become a guy who was going to change my life.
Yeah.
So I keep that. It means
Yeah,
something to me. It's a
sure.
beautiful invitation.
No
It was at
doubt.
the Pennsylvania Hotel. It's black and white. It looks like a Christmas card, right?
Cool. Very
so
cool.
I went through my first thoughts of the Capitol Center were, wow, concerts, Rush,
Yeah.
this, that. And then I went back, and the first 2 events I ever attended was this wrestling match, and
Yeah.
my dad was from Dundalk. My
Yeah.
dad never drove.
Yeah.
My dad drank here at Costas, right? Literally. Would bring his shrimp home. And I don't think he knew about the fried shrimp either. He
Yeah.
just brought the steamed shrimp home with the beer and the onions, right? That we should get for the next segment. My dad took the bus home, or Mr. Joe Thomas would drive him home because he lived in the adjoining neighborhood. So, like, my dad never drove. My dad was epileptic. I learned that after his death, but he never drove because he was afraid of having
Yeah.
an attack, right? Lights.
Sure,
Right.
sure.
Right. So the Capitol Center wasn't on the bus line.
No.
My dad hated Abe Poland for moving that team. Because my dad could take the bus down to see the Bullets, and the Bullets
See the
were
Bullets.
great.
The Bullets.
The Bullets were
Wes
great.
Unseld.
My dad loved the Bullets. My dad was from Scranton, Pennsylvania. My dad was a baseball, boxing, and basketball guy.
Got it.
Like Scranton, Pennsylvania.
Sure.
Not horse racing, not
Okay.
gambling.
Yeah,
My
got
dad
it.
never gambled on it. My dad starved during the Depression, as we talked about during
Yep.
Cup Super Bowl week, right? So once my brother who drove, my stepbrother, he has some challenges, spectrum challenges, but drives,
Yep,
drove then,
yep,
certainly.
yep.
He had the car. He had the 76 Malibu that we got at Plaza Ford, right? So it was a blue Malibu that we went to all the concerts in. And in 1980, he loved wrestling. So And, to call him a little narcissistic, he's my stepbrother.
Whatever.
But it was 1980, and I'm a kid.
Sure.
The wrestling matches, it wasn't too far to drive to the Capitol Center. So once he drove to the Capitol Center for the wrestling matches, I angled in and said,
let's go.
Let's go see the Caps.
Right.
So my dad, about 2 weeks after that, maybe it was this month. It was the month of March of 80.
Yep.
Obviously, the New York Islanders were
it,
right? So I dragged my brother down, and we sat in section 204, row Q, because they were the cheap. They were the $6.50 tickets because it was $11 to sit on the glass.
Absolutely.
Right? In 1980, I'm talking about. Right? So my dad took me with my stepbrother down to the Capitol Center, and we were up in that section. And Leonard, do you remember the first time you walked into Memorial Stadium? What was the first thing you remember as a boy?
Oh my God, I can't even
How
remember.
green the grass is.
Yeah, sure.
Right?
How beautiful.
Beautiful. You walk up the ramp at Memorial Stadium.
It was beautiful.
It's just beautiful, right?
Yep.
I had attended 100 hockey games in my life with my dad. Clippers, skipjacks, blades, skipjacks of ECHL, AHL, all that. The ice at the Baltimore Civic Center was like after you got in the fight with the guy at Styx, the blood stains were still on the ice, and there was beer and soda and popcorn in the ice, and the ice was
gorgeous.
No, it was white with crap, right? Like in it.
You're talking about at the
Capitol Center.
Civic Center.
Right.
Yeah.
Went down to the Capitol Center.
Yeah.
And this is right after the Bob Backlund Hulk Hogan wrestling match. By the way, that card wasn't very good. Larry Zbyszko, a couple of I think Georgie Animal Steel. No, he wasn't. School was in session. It was in March. So I walk into the Capitol Center, and first thing you notice when we walk in there, it's really cold.
Oh, absolutely.
Really
it was always cold.
Really cold. Right?
I loved it.
So I walk into the portal. And it's the second time I've ever been to the Capitol Center. We walk in. We got there really early because we were afraid of traffic. Like driving to Landover from Dundalk, like you had to go through the tunnel.
Yep.
This is before the McHenry Tunnel's built.
Absolutely.
This is literally the Harbor Tunnel, right? There's the bridge is there, but we wouldn't use the bridge, right? Get down to the Capitol Center, and we walked in, and I looked down from the portal, and it was completely empty, just like it is in the Eminence Front video.
Yep.
The red, the blue, but you look down on the ice, and it looked like baby blue cotton candy. They put a blue dye into the ice at the Capitol Center. There's one other ice rink they did it to make the puck stand off on television. There was a theory that you could follow the puck better if the screen saw a light shade of blue. It would set off the puck better. As the puck, this is pre-HD.
Everything.
Right? So the Capitol Center for hockey was like it.
Absolutely.
And I dragged my brother down there, and the Caps probably lost to the Islanders 7-3 that night.
Of course.
Or whatever, right? I mean, but this was Bossy, Trache, right? All that.
Absolutely.
Capitals had Gardner, Maruk was still there, right? No Steven Jett, I don't think. He wasn't there yet.
No.
Carpenter was like, as he always was, wasn't any good till he got to Boston, right? So I know a lot about hockey, don't I? It's just crazy, right? So we got back. That summer passed. Summer 80. My girlfriend at that time was Diana Barr. I had a good time that summer. Saw Amityville Horror. Went out. Later on that summer, tickets and concerts started happening.
Right.
And I talked my stepbrother on a show night to take me down to the Capitol Center on a hot summer night to see ZZ Top.
Oh, my goodness.
On the DeGuello tour.
There you go.
And my brother liked country music, so when he saw the cowboy hats and the beard,
he thought it was it. That was it.
Oh, yeah, you know. So we went down there. We went into the box office, and band putbacks happened. And I bought 2 tickets for me and my stepbrother. We sat in the 3rd row, dead center.
Go.
And I'm 11 years old. The first time I ever heard the song Highway to Hell was in the Capitol Center parking lot that night at ZZ Top. And then a momentous thing happened that summer. Kevin Eck and I had become best friends. And my parents were taking me to Highlandtown to Alona's to get some pizza. And I walked into a little shop on the corner, and I bought a cassette from this band called Rush.
Oh, that's it.
A cassette with a beautiful woman and a wave on it.
Could it be better?
And I took that tape home, and I put it into my York's tape deck, and I heard the first strains of Spirit of Radio. And I said, I got to listen to some 98 Rock. And Sarah Fleischer was doing a concert update, 467 98 Rock, 467 7625. And thank you very much. And my Capitol Center guys are here. I'm prequeling you guys. Get the oysters Rockefeller. That's what I would do if I were you. Get anything you want. It's delicious. I'm buying. So this Rush concert happens, and I talked my brother into a fourth time in the year of driving us down to the Capitol Center.
Excellent.
To see Rush and Saxon on September the 26th, 1980.
Oh, my God.
And I want to tell you right now, that concert ticket, the concert tickets from the Jovan Presents the Rolling Stones on the Tattoo U tour, where they open with, Under My Thumb.
Right.
And Mick shook his ass. It was great. All of those ticket stubs from all the concerts of my childhood, just my childhood,
Yep.
are in here.
It's crazy.
And
so you still haven't answered me. What the hell possessed you to keep all this stuff? When you were a kid.
I relished it in a way that I have all of my life, in the way that you would keep your 1979 Oriole baseball ticket stub.
I guess.
I just had a box that always grew into like a room, right? So these are just the ones that I pulled out of my basketball and hockey.
Unreal.
And wrestling. I went to several wrestling matches. So I have a wrestling thing, a hockey thing, a basketball thing, and I pulled that. So this is the night that I met Ed Frankovic. This is October 13th, Sammy Hagar's birthday, 1985, day after your birthday, day before mine.
There you go.
This was about 3 weeks before Pelle Lindbergh died in that tragic accident up at Cherry Hill, and he was in the pipes that night. He played that night for the Philadelphia Flyers.
How do you remember
Brian
this
Propp,
stuff? Your brain,
Tim
man.
Kerr,
Your brain.
Shel Samuelson. I don't like any of you.
Tim Kerr.
Any of you.
Tim Kerr used to stand in front of the net and piss me off because he would score all the damn time against us.
I have parking passes here.
That's crazy. Look at that.
I have ticket stubs. I probably I have wrestling here. Bruno Sammartino. I have the Quebec Nordiques.
Yeah.
There you go, from 1987. So, and I also have. This is a very interesting press credential because you are a Caps historian.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
The greatest game you've ever seen in your life. Hockey. Were you at the Pat LaFontaine game?
I was. Dude.
What time did you get home?
Oh, so let me.
Well, it was Easter. So let's start with it.
Let's start with this.
Go ahead.
Second date. I took a girl. Second time we went out. Saturday night. I said, I got some tickets to the hockey game. Do you want to go? She said, absolutely, great.
You said it's a big game.
It's a big game.
Big game.
We went to the game.
Game.
Third period's over.
Yep.
She says, are we leaving?
No.
Are you crazy?
No.
We're not leaving. Overtime.
The only food they had in the whole arena was popcorn.
Nothing.
They had popcorn.
Nothing.
They brewed popcorn.
Overtime. Second overtime. She's got her head on my shoulder sleeping.
Drooling.
Sleeping. Drooling. Right. Third overtime.
That's a good date.
No.
You slept with her. She slept with you.
She slept on me. She slept on me. Second date.
She slept with you.
She slept with me. We go through, and then that son of a scores.
Yeah, I know.
And I'm like, oh.
I was in the locker room after that game, dude. I remember that locker room like I remember the Billy Cundiff locker room. Like, I've been in some bad locker rooms. This is my press pass from that night.
She lived in Essex, by the way.
Did she?
She was an Essex girl. I took her home.
That's a long way.
I took her home from the Cap Center.
4:20 in the morning?
Early morning. And we get to her house. She opened the door, got out of the car, and slammed the door shut.
You never saw her again.
Guess we're not going out again. I made her stay to the middle of the night on Easter Sunday morning.
Can you invite her to Pizza John's 2 weeks from now?
I have to even think of her name.
Yeah, we have to get right with her.
I have to think of her name.
You owe her a pepperoni pizza.
If she's listening, maybe she can show up and say it was me.
Well, this is my press credential from that night in 1987.
Oh, my goodness,
right there.
that was the worst.
Kevin Leonard's here and some real nice folks that have put together this book. I don't even want to open the book. I'm not going to look at the book. I've already prequeled all of my stuff here.
Unbelievable.
This is my press pass from the night that Dr. J played his last game at the Capitol Center, last regular season game. Has Jack Gibbons' name on it, but I wore the press pass. I actually wrote the story. It was a cover story, color picture of Dr. J delivering over top of, who was that 100-year, Charles Johnson. Oh. Dude, Charles Johnson looked older than Ovechkin. I mean, like, he really looked old back in the day. Poor guy had the things on his knees and all that. I have all of my concert tickets in here, and I just want to say this before the Cap Center people come here and I look at their beautiful book. By the way, the Laurel History Boys, this is the Capitol Center. Dude, I've had Natty Bo. We got a big football game. Our baseball team's in the playoffs. I've had fried shrimp. I'm having oysters.
Hockey.
I'm with you. I've already
talking
opened the
hockey.
beer with your opener.
Beautiful.
I can have all the crabs I want.
Absolutely.
Life
it's a
is
great
good,
day.
man. Dundalk is the
Isn't
best.
life good?
So what's
life
in this box?
Life is really good, man.
What's in this box? I just want to show it before we roll. In
Holy
this
cow.
box is A through Z of the ticket stubs before 1999, let's say,
Unreal.
right? I mean, like last century. Let's just call it that. And many things are missing. There's a Springsteen folder.
Okay.
There's a U2 folder. There's a Buffett. I mean, there's stuff that wouldn't fit in here.
Right.
These are just sort of the bands I've only seen a handful of times.
I can't believe you have all this. It just blows me away.
So this is a Pearl Jam, like a whole Pearl Jam thing. So anyway, it's A through Z. So like as an example, and well, this is Billy Joel. This is Jay. You said Judas Priest.
Judas Priest.
Hold on here. I want to find something from the Capitol Center that would turn you on.
Judas Priest.
Here's a little problem that I had. As a kid, I went to the mall and I wanted to keep these forever.
Yeah.
So I put wallpaper, clear wallpaper.
Like a laminate.
Over, and it has faded
Yeah.
some of them to the point where, like, it's not that you can't read them. You can read them. I'll pull this out because this is A. So AC/DC will be in here, right?
Yeah,
That's your
absolutely.
thing, right?
I've seen them a number of times there.
My parents loved me so much that in 1981, when For Those About to Rock was about to happen, they camped out for concert tickets at the Heck Company downtown. And they stood in line, and they were in their 60s at the time. They were the only old people there. And they wound up coming home with 8 tickets for the show. That's Aerosmith. Hold on. Let me find that's Aerosmith. Hold on, that's Aerosmith. I'm in the 8th. There it is right here. December 21st, 1981 at the Capitol Center.
I was
That
surely
a Monday.
there.
This concert is completely
definitely there.
Well, the Capitol Center was unique, and this is a great for these gentlemen who know everything about the Capitol Center. They were the only place that had video. And all the videos, Spectrum got it later.
Yep.
They were the only place with pro video, and all of it got booted. And the AC/DC concert from this night, for you, Maury Brown, is available, and you can watch it. It's Angus,
Right.
the whole deal,
Yeah.
right? They open with Hell's Bells.
Right.
Angus came riding
I was
down
there.
on the giant. You were at the show?
Absolutely.
So this is my ticket.
Absolutely.
And my parents camped out and got us 8 tickets. And they weren't great seats. Section 105W, not bad. I mean, they were decent, right?
I was not on the floor, but I was in the first row of the center ice, looking at the stage, where there was an aisle, and he came around. He was strumming on what's his name, shoulders. He was
Brian Johnson.
yeah, he was on his shoulders jamming out, and he came right by us. It was just freaking unbelievable.
I took pictures that
Absolutely
night. I have some
unbelievable.
photos of that night
It's
too.
as good as it gets.
I should have brought
Now, I
damn
know-
photos. See,
I know who
the
I
photos
was-
are terrible. You don't want to see my
I know
pictures.
who I went to that concert with.
So this is a ticket stub of my youth, and I have a lot of pictures from this night. This is May 25th, 1982. Aerosmith had broken up and were doing a lot of drugs. I mean, a whole lot of drugs. And this is after Steven Tyler put his head on my shoulder. That's before that. This is a year before that, right? So this is 82. Kix opened this show.
Kix.
Steve Whiteman had a lift, and he sung For Shame with an umbrella. Guys, this is a good seat. Section 1, row D. What do you think? Was that a good seat on the floor? That's a pretty good.
That's
seat.
pretty good.
So my pictures of that night are of a strung-out Steven Tyler with a goatee. I mean, his eyes are lid back. Joe Perry's not in the band. Brad Whitford's not in the band. It had Rick Dufay and whoever the other guy was in the band. So anyway.
Crazy.
These are just,
and you got it all.
Dude, every one of these, I have a 20-minute story about who I was with, where I was with.
Stunning.
And then they went to these goofy tickets. This says Capitol Center, but that's not a real Capitol Center ticket, right?
That's right.
Right?
The red, white, and blue.
Heck Company.
And now they're on your phone, and it's digital, and you got to show your phone, and you can't do any of that anymore.
Now, you asked me why these things. This is my Money Talks dollar bill, my Angus dollar bill that flew out of the ceiling. I caught this in the air at the Capitol Center. Just like remember when the Stones shot the confetti off that night?
Absolutely.
During Satisfaction? Memories,
Good
man.
stuff,
right?
dude.
You like
Good
that?
stuff. I
This
like
is
it.
just the A.
It's incredible.
The guys from the
Crazy.
Capitol Center book people are here. I'm buying them crab cakes. They can have what's left of my Natty Bow. Appreciate you, Leonard. Tell everybody what you do.
Pleasure, man.
Tell everybody what you do.
We empower people to choose their financial future. It's all about your money so that you can go to these shows, take your kids to these shows. Life is about.
They're no longer $990, $880, and $770, unfortunately.
No, but life is about the things you do with the money you have. The fact that we have to use money to as a mechanism of exchange is what I'm about. It's about helping people make money, protect money, enjoy their money, mostly enjoy their money, and you got to understand how to have it, how to protect it, how to use it. We help people do that so that they can do this, so that they can have the joy of their lives, whatever that is for them. That's what I want for my clients. That's what we do to help people get.
I touched my Van Halen concert ticket from the Diver Down tour yesterday. I'm trying to get my hands on that, There's Stevie Wonder in the round, August.
Isn't he? He's coming back, right?
Yeah, August 10th, 1986, Stevie Wonder in the round.
He's coming back.
He's doing a Kenny
tour.
And Dolly.
Oh, my God.
I mean, I saw them sing Islands in the Street at the Capitol Center in the round. Oh, my God, this is going to be great.
All right,
I'm trying to do whatever I can do to not worry about the Orioles, right?
That's right.
And the Ravens and whatever's going on. And did we do a good job of avoiding football at least till next week?
It's fantastic.
All right. Leonard Raskin's here, Raskin Global, our friends at the Maryland Lottery. Everybody's here getting free lottery tickets. I feel like Oprah. You get a ticket. You get a ticket. You get a ticket. Did anybody win? Anybody win? You won? What'd you win? $7.
$7.
Righteous bucks. Hey, dude, $7 you could have sat upstairs and watched Heart and Cheap Trick back in 81 at the Capitol Center. 667, 70, and 880. I remember those days.
There you go.
I'm back for more Costas. I got to get these guys on here. They've driven a long way to be here, and they're young like me. Stay